Hey, Lowell from Gamer Guides here, back with another Forza Horizon 6 video. In this one, I'm going to show you how to clear all 30 speed zones in the game and the best cars for doing so. I found speed zones harder than the other challenges in the game, including drift zones, which we've done a video on, but manageable with the right vehicles. As such, I'm not going to show all 30 speed zones and make this a ridiculously massive video, but instead detail 2 easily available cars that will get you the stars no problem, with a dash of advice for good measure. I'll also include runs of a couple of the harder speed zones at the end of the video. So first things first, without getting into tuning or too much custom upgrading, you're going to want cars with high acceleration and high handling when running speed zones. The speed stat is tertiary. This is because speed zones are all about maintaining speed while navigating curves and sharp turns. Speed zones in the lower blue and green tiers don't require too special of a vehicle. In fact, you obtain a 2022 Acura NSX Type S during the Mech My Day wristband event, which grants you the blue wristband when you clear it. In its base form, it's more than capable of grabbing 3 stars on the first 10 or so speed zones with its decent handling and good speed. After that, however, its max speed likely won't reach the requirement for pink and orange wristband speed zones. Never fear, because you can simply auto-upgrade it to an S2 class car at your garage, and in doing so shouldn't have too much of a problem clearing all pink and orange tier speed zones. There's probably a better car for this, but you can use the upgraded Acura NSX's speed, acceleration, and handling stats as a baseline and compare it to other cars tucked away in your garage. That said, when you're tackling the purple and the 1 gold wristband speed zones, a much higher acceleration and handling is completely necessary, as you'll be slowing down to take incredibly sharp or wide turns that the Acura will start to struggle with. Which is where the 1993 Nissan No. 32 Skyline WTAC Extreme GTR comes in. Who names these things? When upgraded, it's an X-Class car with 10s in acceleration, launch, and braking, with a respectable 9 in handling. You can purchase it after obtaining the purple wristband, and to be honest, I wish I skipped the orange speed zones until I did, because this car would have trivialized them. I had no trouble completing the purple wristband speed zones and only struggled a little with the final Legend Island gold wristband speed zone with this car, and I am by no means a Forza pro. It costs just over 500,000 credits, and its auto upgrade to X-Class doesn't cost much more than that. If you're not a Nissan fan, other cars under the Extreme Track Toys category at the auto show have similar stats. So with the easily attainable Acura NSX or the Nissan Skyline, here's what to keep in mind when tackling speed zones. Start as far outside of the speed zone start gate as possible. Because the stars you earn are based on the average speed between the 2 gates, hitting the first gate at a higher speed tips the odds in your favor. As such, it's not a bad idea to see which side of the speed zone you can get a better running start with, and maintain that initial speed longer after starting the run. Sometimes reaching max speed isn't viable because you don't have enough time to slow down to survive a turn. Hitting the first gate with a speed a bit higher than the average speed required to get 3 stars is often the way to go, as maintaining control is better than all-out power. I would also stop accelerating to make more narrow curves as much, if not more, than I used my brakes. Braking was more often reserved for really sharp turns that I otherwise couldn't make. Also, you shouldn't try to sharply drift as you lose too much speed, and these cars weren't built for that. Furthermore, many speed zones are off-road. I struggled with these at first before I switched to off-road tires in the garage, and suddenly could manage these muddy tracks much more easily. Remember to switch back to rally tires or the like when you're tackling a speed zone on asphalt. I also found leaving the road to cut through some brush, especially to avoid taking many small turns in a row, helps maintain speed. It's a bit of a balancing act, because going too far out of bounds will automatically fail you, but you'd be surprised at how much you can get away with. Last, have an eye out for jumps. If your car goes airborne, it's incredibly hard to control when it lands, and almost always there's a curve right when you do. I found slowing down to take these jumps the way to go quite often. Also, don't be afraid to use rewind. There's no shame in it, I promise. And yeah, that's about all the tips I have for you. Let me walk you through a difficult orange tier speed zone with the Acura, and then the final gold wristband Legend Island speed zone to show you what I mean. So let's try a clean run on the Arashiyama speed zone here. I need to maintain 185.1 kilometers per hour. I'm in the upgraded Acura with off-road tires, starting up on a hill to get a little bit more speed before hitting the speed zone entrance at 193 kilometers. These first bends, I let off the gas in order to take them a bit more cleanly while also not accelerating through this jump until I stick the landing. Even then, I hit some fences, but gun it as quickly as possible to barely clear the 3-star threshold. You can't really tell in this video, but the off-road tires did a ton of work keeping me on the track. So, slight spoiler warning I guess. This is maybe the hardest speed zone in the game on Legend Island, the Coastal Cliffside Challenge in my beloved Nissan Skyline. Off-road tires on, I sped up from a distance to 260 kilometers an hour, well over the 152.9 threshold for 3 stars because this zone has an incredibly tight curve you have to all but stop for. Instead of taking this first curve, I cheated the system a little bit and drove off route before braking heavily to make this tighter turn, using the Skyline's incredible acceleration to get back up to speed and climb the hill to the exit gate. Getting this right probably took me about 10 tries, which wasn't too bad all things considered. And yeah, that's all you really need to know to get 3 stars in all 30 speed zones in Forza Horizon 6. Also, did you know we here at Gamer Guides put together like the best interactive maps around? I'm not exaggerating when I say that. I challenge you to find a better interactive map than ours for Forza Horizon 6. Link in the description. Anyway, if you found this video at all helpful or just like Chubby Shibas in the background, maybe like or subscribe so we can continue on our quest to fulfill all your gaming needs here at Gamer Guides.